city, so that is good news for you. But it does all connect back to that same story, that same flow. Here's our high pressure, and you've got all that heat and humidity and, storm train rolling around that high, Alex.
And Mark, you're mentioning the overall setup and how we've got that really strong area of high pressure, that ridge. And these kind of setups can oftentimes promote these really strong wind-producing thunderstorm complexes, the derechos.
Yeah, the question is, do we get to derecho criteria or don't we? Not do we get the severe storms or don't we? It is going to generate some severe weather for the rest of our day. We've got a little bit of a weak low trying to form here across the northern tier on that north side of the high, kind of dropping down and around. Stationary boundary on the edge of that big upper level high pressure system as well. And so again, storms are starting to fire up in this area. Really crucially, we've got a lot of wind energy aloft, and that is going to help to organize these storms, push them forward in this big complex of thunderstorms, that big, thunderstorm complex that can form that derecho if the winds are bad enough, long enough. So yeah, we have this first round come through. I think that's really the appetizer course. Later, we start seeing bigger storm action, say 8, 9, 10 o'clock. That's the one we really got to watch. Look at that, big backward C, that Boeing shape that then goes all the way through lower Michigan into northern Ohio during the overnight hours. That's why the potential is as high as it is, mostly for damaging winds. I think that's the most likely outcome across this area. There certainly could still be some small hail or even some gusty winds, because we're going to have this line of storms forming. The rain-cooled air surges forward as the untapped air gets lifted up ahead of it, so you wind up kind of fueling the storm on its own right on through the nighttime hours. And if it lasts long enough, over 250 miles, Chris, with that severe wind, then it qualifies as a derecho. Still questionable if we'll get there, but I think we'll get to severe weather because of the setup we have tonight.
Yeah, certainly a possibility, too, there, especially over Wisconsin, parts of the Great Lakes, may impact cities like Chicago and getting into Michigan, Grand Rapids, perhaps. So if you live in the upper Midwest, take this time now while it's quiet to prepare for that threat of damaging winds. It's likely here from the Arrowhead of Minnesota, especially into Wisconsin. Things start to get active in a few hours, and this is where our storms will begin. They'll be more isolated and scattered across the Arrowhead of Minnesota and northern parts of Wisconsin, and then as it pushes off towards the south and the east, it starts to get a much more organized, and you get a elongated line of thunderstorms. We're going to see this here around Green Bay. We may get a few showers, some heavier rainfall getting in earlier this afternoon, and then by dinner time, we get the main line to start really developing off to your northwest, and there it comes. This is the one that may produce upwards of 60 to 80 mile per hour winds, hail potential. Some isolated tornadoes can't be ruled out, but we're really looking at that damaging wind threat. Power outages expected, especially as we go into the overnight hours tonight. Off towards the south, areas here around Madison, Milwaukee, expecting more of the same. Again, a few spotty showers to start the evening. But then as we get towards 11 midnight, there we go. That line into central Wisconsin quickly moving in towards Madison, Milwaukee, and down the Lake Michigan shoreline. And then eventually clipping parts of Chicago and even Grand Rapids, Alex, as we head into the late night, early morning hours tonight.
And beyond that, we think this is going to continue off towards the